everyone, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to share a twist pop card. This is my guest design team project for Paper Sweeties. They invited me to be a guest designer to introduce the February challenge. If you click down to my blog post, you'll see the image for the inspiration challenge. And what I took from it were the kind of primitive feel as well as the color scheme. I colored up this super cute little greeting farm stamp called Snuddle Anya. It's this little girl here. I paper pieced her shirt, her little mug, and I Copic colored her. And I also added two kitties because I know she has cats, and actually I think she has a dog too. But I used this cute little kitten here from the mini remix Happy stamp set, and I did a mirror stamping so I could get the second kitty with the tail on the opposite side. And the front of the card is relatively simple. I just did some matting. I started the whole card base with this kind of forest green color, did a white mat and then a shimmers pink, a pale pink mat, added a paper doily, and then gave them something to stand on by using some of this really cute heart cross-stitch pattern paper. This was from the Best Of collection by Amy Tangerine by American Crafts back in 2014, and I did a little bit of matting there. To do this closure, because the card gets a little bulky, I did a little closure just adding some sheer pink shimmery ribbon, and I glued that and taped that underneath the card front, and also did the same on the back where I have my Handmade with Love by CraftyPaws label. So to open it up, you just undo the bow there, and you can open it up, and that's the card. So for this construction, I'm going to attach a tutorial video. I followed a really great tutorial by Jen Evers, who's Quality Crafts, and I just finished off the card doing some more matting, more pattern paper, and then let me share with you guys all the great Paper Sweeties stamps and dies that I use. I use the But First Coffee stamp set. I use this little coffee pot and this mug. I stamped them out on this really sweet floral pattern paper. And then for the hearts on the background, I cut these out of more of that pale pink shimmers paper. And I used the Paper Sweeties Stitch Tags 1 die set, and I use this little heart here. And what's great is that it's so versatile. You can make this into a tag by using the little reinforcer right there. And that this set also comes with like a ribbon die and a tag. You can see the stamps actually here. Really, really cute. For these cups, I use the Coffee Yes Please stamp set. I use this coffee cup. I also use this one, the disposable paper cups with the lid. I also use the dies. I use this die here for the little coffee sleeves, and I cut that out of corrugated craft cardstock. And I also use this little small heart die just to add an extra little heart so that this background wasn't so busy. And I distressed inked all the edges of these papers just with some Tim Holtz picked raspberry. And these little teeny tiny hearts, I actually used an old EK Tools punch. It's this one here. I picked this up on eBay like 4 years ago, and I forget what it's called, but this is the punch, and I actually have rarely used it for the whole image or punch. I usually use it for the little tiny hearts, and I think these are perfect just to add more hearts. This lower part here I matted with some extra pink cardstock, which I also distress inked along the edges and added these little hearts. This is where I'll write my little message to my friend. The top here is the sentiment from this stamp set. It's the But First Coffee. It says, sending you a hug and a mug. And I punched the label out with this EK Tools punch, and I also punched out 2 more of those with the green cardstock so that I could get some good layering going on behind it so that it would pop up and kind of stand out from the busy pattern paper in the background. And that's my card. If you're interested in the tutorial on how to make the twist pop card, which I think is so cool and it is really easy, please stay tuned. So this is the creation of the structure of the twist pop card. I've got a piece of cardstock here that's 11 by 12 inches. So I'm going to make sure that the 11 inches is cut at 4 1/4. That is going to be my base card. And I'm going to cut off 1 more inch off of this. So this is now 10, and I'm going to cut another strip that's 3 inches wide. And I'm going to cut so that this is 8 1/2 by 3 inches. And these 3 pieces are the pieces you need for the card structure. So this largest piece is going to be my card base. So I will just score this down the middle at 5 1/2 inches. And to make sure that I get a nice crisp corner and everything lines up, I like to keep this on my scoreboard. This middle piece here, which is the 10 inches in length, I'm going to fold down the middle. And then for ease and the elimination of some measuring, I'm going to line this up so that this folds like a gatefold card. I'll do the same to the other side. So this is the middle piece of the card. This is the piece that's 8 1/2 by 3 inches. And this one you'll need to score at 3 locations to begin with: 2 3/4, 5 3/4, and then you turn it around so that it's the long way here. And you take that middle point, 1 1/2 inches, and score all the way down. Now you'll be able to see that there are these marks here, and what you need to do is connect this endpoint to this endpoint and do a score line. So if you just line another piece of cardstock along one row, you can use that as the guide and connect those 2 points. So now you've got an X going through, and I'm going to make sure that all of these score lines are nice and well creased. As you can see, these are all folded, and what you need to do is press the 2 sides down and fold toward the center until it forms this kind of arrow, and make sure you really strengthen those folds. Now I've got my card base down, and I've got it positioned on my cutting mat here so that I can spot the middle point, which is right here. And I'm going to position that there and take some wet glue, fold that over. I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing. I'm going to put wet glue just on this top triangular part of this arrow and fold that over. I'm going to just hold it down so that it sets. Now I've got this opened up now, and I'm going to position the gatefolded card on here, and I'm just making sure that it's positioned about in the middle here. And I'm going to again take my wet glue and just put glue on the top part of this segment on the back panel, and then on the lower left. And now I'm going to open up the gatefolded piece and make sure it adheres to those glued areas. And you just make sure you pop up the sides here and here And then there you go. This is the mechanism for the twist pop-up card. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial video. And if you're interested in the particular Copic colors or any of the measurements of the cardstock, please check out my blog post for all those details. And if you enjoyed this tutorial video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching.